Tucked away in the heart of downtown Hanford, California, sits a stumbling stone building few dares to explore after dark. Locals call it the Bastille, an abandoned jail with chilling reputation. Some say you can still hear the cries of prisoners. Others swear something darker lurks inside. Tonight, on Which Dark Tales podcast, we uncover the secrets, spirits, and sinister of the past. We are here at the Bastille in Hanford, California, where it was said to be haunted. Not only was this place haunted, through historical research, a woman named Maria Roja was unalived by the jailer or an inmate on the second floor. Come to find out, it was historically true. Hi, my witches and norms. Welcome to Which Dark Tales podcast. We're your host, Diamond Witch.
I'm Miguel.
And today we are here in Hanford, California, at a haunted place known as the Bastille. Well, it used to be a prison, like a jail cell back in the days, because it's technically Kings County.
Yeah.
And then they turned it now into a storage, but it also had like different, it was also like a restaurant and a club. And I heard people came over here even for their prom and stuff. But the story was, allegedly, there's a woman named Bloody Mary where she passed away here by, unaliving herself. And people said they've seen her.
Wow.
So within this podcast, we're going to be reading people's comments and also telling the history and scary stories of this place. So stay tuned and let's just go. Mm-hmm. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe. And then audio and viewer discretion is advised. Strong adult language. Let's go. This haunted place in Hanford, California, built in the late 1800s, the Bastille Hanford's County Jail, constructed with thick granite walls and narrow corridors. It housed criminals, outlaws, and the mentally ill for decades. It wasn't just a place of confinement. Stories of spread of suicides, mysterious deaths, and even alleged mistreatment within its walls. Locals feared it. Inmates tried to escape it. Some never made it out. People say the air changes as you approach the Bastille. Cold, heavy, and unsettling. Over the years, locals and ghost hunters alike have reported unexplained activity here. From disembodied voices echoing from the cells, shadows darting down the hallways, apparition of former prisoners pacing back and forth, the sound of jail cells slamming shut when no one is around. Some believe a malevolent presence remains inside, locked. A former inmate who died violently during his sentence. Others claim the building is cursed from decades of suffering and abuse. On the second segment, we will be telling people's scary stories of their experience there at the Bastille. A user writes, "So it was the summer of 2003. That place was a club. I had a few friends that were clubbing. So I get a call by 1 o'clock. My friend Angie asked if I can go pick them up since they had been drinking. So I agreed. So as I walked in, hardly any people were there because it was almost closing time. I think there was only 15 people left on the club, but all of them were on the dance floor, including my friends that I had gone to go pick up. As I'm standing waving to my friend to let her know I was there, she waved back. When the song was over and she started walking towards me where I was standing, I heard a voice whispered in my left ear saying this one is mine, and all of a sudden someone grabbed my left buttocks hard. I freaked out. I made a 360 ASAP and I didn't see anyone around. I asked my friend, "Did you see anyone behind me?" She said, "No, why?" The lights were on and if someone was behind you, I would have noticed. Till this day, I have never forgotten how that happened to me. I get chills every time I go to farmer's market and just stared at the building. There's a lot of energy in that area. Thank you, user, for sending that scary story. Now, I'm not from Hanford. I've never been to the Bastille only for this recording of the podcast. It's the family market across the street. And number two, babe, if nobody was there behind you and you felt someone grabbed you, I'm pretty sure it was a paranormal experience. Now, you guys, I always say this. Just because paranormal things don't happen to other people, you cannot discredit them. Even if you don't want to believe, the fact that there's an opportunity, the fact that you have the opportunity to hear someone's personal experience, you should never judge them until it happened to you. When I went to the Bastille, not inside, but outside the building, I felt sad. I felt like I wanted to cry. There was so much sadness oozing out of the building. You don't have to be a psychic or a sensitive to even feel that. I'm not a psychic or a medium. I'm just a person who likes to hear people's scary stories. And when I went there, I wanted to cry. I'm about to cry right now. But again, thank you for sending your scary story. And for audio listeners and on YouTube, drop down a comment, let me know. What do you guys think about her scary story? On to a third segment. A user named Caitlin sent us her personal paranormal scary story, and it reads, back in the early 2000s, the Bastille basement was turned into a night bar. My mom's boyfriend at the time was a cook in the kitchen for the bar, and he knew how much my mom was into the paranormal and told her to come one night at closing time, which happened to be around 11 p.m. At the time, I was attached to my mom's hip, so I went with her. I remember when we got there, the bar was just closing up, so the lights were on. People were still there. The first thing I noticed was that the bar area had been completely covered in pennies, and the overall feel was almost industrial work, if that makes sense. You can see all the open steelwork of the building. It was cool, but very eerie too. Once my mom's boyfriend was done cleaning up, he took us on a tour, starting with the cells that were still in the basement. If I remember correctly, there are 8 cells down there, 4 on each side. On the right side, on the last cell, they claimed that it was haunted, so naturally, we went to go check it out. At first, I didn't want to go in the cell because the light in the cell was flickering and I was maybe 8 years old at the time. I was so scared. I eventually stepped into the cell, and the weight that you felt the minute you stepped in was so intense. I couldn't be in there any longer. Then we made our way to the spiral staircase. At the top of the staircase, it attaches to the courthouse that is still next door. Stories say that a woman hanged herself at the top of the spiral staircase. They even had it blocked off when we went up there as respect to her. My mom used to take pictures all the time of the Civic Center courtyard, the Bastille, and the old courthouse, and I remember a few she got out of the windows in the courthouse. You can see a figure standing there at what would be the top of the spiral staircase where the lady had hanged herself. I have never talked to my husband, who grew up here as well, about the stories of the Bastille until the other day. And he said details that I experienced. It sent chills down my spine and all over my body. A few years later back, the popular show Ghost Hunters came and did some research, and they agreed that it was for sure some spirits trapped inside. The end. Thank you, Caitlin, for sharing your personal scary story. I love that you remembered every details, from the pennies to the spiraling staircase, and also that there were 8 cells, 4 on each side. I've never been inside, but I've heard about the cell. We are here at the base of the Bastille. It's late, it's quiet, and this place already feels wrong. We've heard reports of footsteps, whispers, and even growling noises. Being here, it made me want to cry. I just felt as if there was so much history here where it was bleeding through the walls. I don't know if that makes sense. But you can just feel so much sadness. The building is beautiful, but within its walls, if the walls can talk, I'm sure they would tell us so many things. We came to document a forgotten jail, but left with more questioning than answers. The Bastille isn't just an old building. It's a tomb of secrets, suffering, and spirits that refuse to be silenced. Hanford's Bastille may be abandoned, but it's far from empty. So what do you guys think about this place? Do you believe that it's haunted? Drop down a comment and let us know. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. And audio listeners, thank you for listening. We'll see you on Monday for audio and Sunday for visual. But with that being said, blessed be my witches and norms, and have a great evening. Blessed be everyone. Bye.